Thank you for joining us for Let the Prophet Speak. Dr. Rosier has declared that 2016 is the year of love. She's commissioned us to walk in love in 2016 and grow in love in 2016. Today, she'll be describing the 16 attributes of love from 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter. We hope you'll stay tuned and join us at the end of the broadcast.
Triumph over me. Oh, my God can do anything more than we.
16 prophetically represents, declares, according to biblical mathematics, numerology. 16 is the number of love. So when I looked at the number 16, I kept thinking, okay, what about this love, Lord? I kept praying, what about this love? And I realized that there are a lot of people that sling that word around, but we do not manifest any of the attributes of love. So we will spend 16 days working on one precept at a time so that we can love our way through 2016. Grow in love in 2016. We're saying this, love your way through 2016. Grow in love in 2016. Because there are some people that say they love, but their life does not match any of the attributes of love. So we're going to work on one precept at a time, starting on the 16th, and I'll start teaching on love is. We'll work on what is patience. Most of us will fail the love test simply by being impatient. Love is long suffering. Most of us will fail because we have zero tolerance for anybody except our honey and our money. There's some family members you will tolerate them cussing you out, tolerate them stealing your things, tolerate them mistreating you, and they're still your sister, still your brother. You're still go to fight, but there are members in the body of Christ that they do one thing and you write them off forever. But declare that you're in love. So we're going to do what? Love our way through 2016. We're going to do what? Grow in love in 2016. Let's try it this way. Left side. Love our way. Put that left hand up. Love our way through 2016. Put your right hand up. Let's pretend we're being sweared in. I solemnly swear to grow in love in 2016. Now on this part, I may have not actually been in love while I was using that term. My love needs to grow. Okay, so right hand up, we're doing what? Growing in love in 2016. Left hand up, doing what?
Loving our way through 2016.
I heard a few people. On the left side, we're doing what?
Loving our way through 2016.
Take a step to the left, and we are loving
our way through 2016.
Take a step to the right, and we're doing what? Growing in love in 2016. Let's put 1 Corinthians 13 chapter on the board. Love loves the unlovable. Love takes you past pain. Love takes you past disappointment. Love makes you keep participating even when you're being harmed. Why do you think women that are in domestic violence situations keep staying in those situations? and making excuses. Well, he didn't mean it. I upset him. It was an accident. He was abused as a child himself. Because love makes excuses. It hopeth all things, believeth all things. I hope that in these 16 days, starting on the 16th, I'm going to take every one of these attributes and every day break one down for you. Every day dissect it. Every day help you to analyze it and make the pattern fit you. Help you to discover the areas that you've been short of love on in your life. Did anybody realize they talked about the love tank when it comes to married couples? Did you realize, have you ever thought about you have very little love? Because nobody ever really made you look at the attributes and think about, I'm really not a loving person. And I'm really not in love with people. In fact, you may find out that you have more hate than love. The discovery is meant for you to change and match the year. To make this year your year for real. You'll be able to say, this is my year. Because in this year, I plan to become what God is declaring this year will be about. I can't get it if I won't give it. I speak with tongues and have not, and become and I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, that word charity is love. If I have not love. And if I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship, that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. What happens? Gain nothing if I don't have. If I don't have, left side, we're doing what? Next verse. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. God, somebody say, help me, Jesus. And throw up that right hand. And grow up. Lift up. This time, lift yourself as high as you can. Growing in love. Get up on your toes. I'm growing in love in 2016. Because I certainly keep record of wrongs. Can we own it? I mean, think about it. We ended last year with Pastor Dave talking about forgetting those things that are behind because there were people that, think about it. We just went through everything. This happened and that happened and that happened. And it's fine to rehearse it, glance in the rearview mirror only to change lanes. It's dangerous when you're on the highway and stuck in the rearview mirror. You're killing somebody. So remembering the wrong, you glanced in that rearview mirror and said, oh, that happened. Let me change lanes. Oh, that happened. Oh, let me switch. Oh, let me accelerate.
Partner with Dr. Vernette-Rosier and Let the Prophet Speak. For a donation of $25 per month or $300 per year, you can become a partner of Let the Prophet Speak. Your monthly contributions will help us continue to speak to the nations and minister across the world. To become a partner, call us at 850-769-5442 or email healingthewholeperson at comcast.net.
That you wondered because of all that you had gone through whether God forgot about you. The Lord is not forgetful circle of your work and labor of love, where there have been individuals that you have poured into and they forgot about your contributions. You've been a person of such compassion, such love and concern, and therefore you've been very easy to be bruised. I come against psychic prayers and psychic words that have been spoken against you. People out of jealousy have said certain things to take you down a notch or two, but you knew how to let the Lord take the dent out of your armor. You knew how to raise your shield of faith, and you knew how to keep plowing forward. 2016 is going to be a year of your debt being repaid. People that owed you, that held back on what they owed you, you're going to reap a harvest in 2016. You have been
about my giving, what do you want me to give? And he gave me an amount, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, I got this bill, that bill. I had this whole list of things I had to do. And being single and on one income, first things come first. It's your bills, because you don't have nobody else to fall on. And so I was like, okay, Lord, I'm going to do it. I didn't really care. I didn't question it. As soon as I sat down, I got an envelope. And the first thing I did was write out the amount, put it in the envelope, and I was done with it. Well, had no idea what was getting ready to transpire. Well, that was the first night. Well, by the third night, I let the money go. It was gone, and I gave every night, and it was a dollar amount that he had gave me a month ago.
So now the Lord told you what to give.
Yes.
Though you had a job, you worked for the money, but you allowed God, spiritual side,
Yes.
to tell you what to give.
Yes.
In spite of your bills. In spite of where you thought it should go.
Yes.
And you actually obeyed him?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I knew what I wanted to give for the appreciation months ago. And so I had wrote that out. And that last night, I was like, okay, what we're getting ready to do? Well, before the last night, my boss had told me that on the first, she said, I need you to come in, make sure you're here, on the third. And I was like, well, what's the big deal? I'm always here. I'm going to be here. And she's like, well, make sure you don't take off. Don't call in sick. I was like, well, I won't call in sick. I'll be here. So when we all got there, she's like, everybody come to the meeting room. And I was like, okay, we'll go to the meeting room. And the board members was there, and she was there, and they were like, well, we're going to give everybody a bonus this year. Well, I've been at my job 11 years. They don't give out bonuses. We're a nonprofit agency. That is not what we do. But she said, we're giving out bonuses. And I was like, okay, I was happy. I was like, okay, maybe $500. I was getting excited for the $500. Really, I was. So we were all like, yay, $500, woo, maybe $350. We didn't care. We was just happy that we're getting something. And when the lady said, the board member, she said, we're giving you 10% of your salary. I thought I was going to fall out the chair. And I was like, oh my God, 10% of my salary.
Can you back up a minute?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
Lord had spoken to you at the beginning of that year to quit your second job, which you mentioned.
Quit my
to.
second job.
You were working a second job. I won't say the name of the store or the place, but you were working. And the Lord wanted you to quit that job. And as a result of you quitting that job, what happened?
When they gave me the 10% of my salary, it was the same amount of money I would have made all year working at the part-time job.
Love sees the glass half full, not half empty. Love says, they didn't mean that. Now, my problem was, I married to ministry, pastor's wife, before co-pastor elder. I applied too much love and not enough reality. They didn't mean it until I realized, wait a minute, when they start spitting in my child's food, they mean it. So love is Jesus coming through the temple with a bullwhip, building those muscles, saying, whoosh. Love does not mean people let you do anything to them and they do nothing about it. You should love your neighbor, scripture, as yourself. I love myself enough that I won't let you keep tearing my spirit, soul, and body apart by your words, and I sit quietly. Because I also love me. I can't love my neighbor if I don't love me. I love me enough that I'm not letting anybody drive me to suicide ever again. Internalizing thoughts and not addressing accusations and things people are saying almost took my life. Almost made me take my own life. So I've grown in love before 2016. I grew up. I address it. Did we finish reading this? Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. True. Love does not delight in evil. I don't understand how people can mistreat individuals and they're excited about the person being mistreated. I'm always for the underdog. I'm bothered. How could you talk to that person that way? How could you do them that? How could you render evil for good? Out of all, I don't understand that. We're checking our love levels. We're doing what in 2016?
Loving our way through 2016.
Left side, we're loving our way. Right side, we're. Now, how do we grow up in love? We need to stop with that little conditional love. I love you if you love me. I love some people that no longer love me and I'm still in love with them. I love them. And will never stop loving them, though they may never speak to me again in their lifetime. Because that's how love. Okay? It what?
Always protects.
It?
Always trusts.
Whoa, always protects. We're going to take it apart now, starting on the 16th, but I just need to linger a minute. Always, who is it that you're willing to protect aside from yourself? Right hand, growing. We need to grow up, grow past just loving you. Because you don't love when you don't protect. People have these hoopties, these raggedy cars that smoke, falling apart. Somebody say something about their car, this, but don't talk about my car. Now, how do you protect an inanimate object and won't protect a human being? Somebody say something about, I wish they would say something about my house. Houses burn down. Storms wash them off the foundation. But they can talk about your church. You didn't see that one coming, did you? They can talk about pastor, apostle. They can talk about a prophet that gave you a word of life, that was there when you were going through the most horrendous crisis. When everybody was judging you, they picked you up. Love protects. It always protects. It always always, always, perseveres. Okay, perseveres. Love never fails. And we're going to stop there. Where there are prophecies, they will cease. Why we're going to stop there is because people are hung up on prophecies and not thinking about the prophecies will cease. But love never. And God so loved, he gave his only son, not 1 out of 20, the only one he had. And put your hand on yourself. And he gave his son for who? Me. Because he thought you were worth saving. So if you're worth saving, if you're worth dying for, why isn't that person that's made in his image right next to you? Oh, look to your left or look to your right. Why isn't that person right next to you worth you dying to yourself? Get it? You can't die to yourself? Can it stop being about you for just a few seconds? Let's start at a second and move up to a minute and then up to an hour. I know it's overwhelming when you are accustomed to being worshiping the kingdom of self, it's somewhat overwhelming to give up a second for someone else. Start at a second and move on to a minute and then an hour and then a day and a week and a month and then growing. Then you can grow up in love. Your love needs to grow. You have been one that has been the sledgehammer. You would not take a whole lot of stuff that she is willing to take. In fact, you'll step in and take up the fight even if she doesn't ask you to take up the fight. You're not short of words, and you don't have the tolerance or the patience, and that's not a bad thing. Just God brought two powerful people together. You don't have the tolerance or the patience to take the kind of things that she took. So a lot of things people will not confront you with, will not challenge you with. What you're going to have to watch for is you're strong like me, so most people will never confront you to your face. Only the cowards will come from behind with that sneak attack. They will have a whole lot of things to say, and as soon as you confront them, they'll have selective amnesia. But I felt like you're the Lord's battle axe, that He's using you to level the playing field. You're perfect just the way that you are. That outward beauty radiates that inward beauty. You're for the underdog. If you're with them even when they're losing. You will help them be a winner. And there are certain expectations that you have that people have, especially men, have wanted you to lower your expectations, but you just decided that I deserve better, and I agree with you, sister. I feel the power of the Lord coming out of the both of you, that you have made such a solid investment, and you made years and years of investment, and you decided that I didn't invest my time and my energy for nothing. You have travailed in prayer, and even the times that you were laboring in prayer during the night season, I would feel a hand shake you as if a human being was in the room, and it would shake you, and I felt an angelic presence that would show up, and you would know to pray. Sometimes you didn't know who to pray for. You would start out praying until the Lord gave you the reality of who to pray for, and He's been a God that has showed up in your dreams over and over and over again. You are a secret weapon. Most people have no idea the perception, the discernment that you have. If they knew how perceptive and how discerning you were, some of the things that they tried to pull, they would not pull it. But because you made it through horrendous things in your life that should have wiped you out, should have destroyed your health, but you learned how to grab the Lord's hand and how to plow through, and you got over the affirmation of man and what people thought about you years ago, and you're just determined to go all the way with Him. So instead of a demotion, you're being promoted. You've gone to another level, and that's why you felt the warfare. That's why you felt the battle. You felt like a woman in labor about to give birth. As you ended this year, you thought, my God, sometimes you felt like maybe a baby's going to pop out because you've had such labor in the spirit realm. It's about what you're about to birth.
Partner with Dr. Vernette-Rosier and Let the Prophet Speak. For a donation of $25 per month or $300 per year, you can become a partner of Let the Prophet Speak. Your monthly contributions will help us continue to speak to the nations and minister across the world. To become a partner, call us at 850-769-5442 or email healingthewholeperson@comcast.net.
Do you know love works so well when you perfect love and you genuinely love? I get so caught up with giving, I notice from time to time, Deborah and I spend a lot of time together, maybe because she lives in Bay County, other than other kids, and from time to time seeing them. I'm in a grocery store or a gas station, it may be a little kid or someone that's short of change, and I'll pay for their grocery walking behind them, I'll pay for their gas, and I'm so love giving that I won't notice that they didn't say thank you. And several times Deborah said to me, Mom, they didn't say thank you. You need to turn around and say, excuse me, young man, you didn't have enough money for that. What's the magic word? Maybe no, you were never taught that you should appreciate someone investing in you. You can tell who you love by who you spend your money on. If all the money goes to you, guess what? You love yourself some self. It's good to be in love with you if you spread that love abroad. But if you're so in love with you, you're self-centered, you're arrogant, you're cocky, you're conceited, that you will pardon yourself. People with low self-esteem are extremely critical of everybody but themselves. Watch for it. People that have low self-esteem find something wrong with everybody. They find something wrong with everything that you do. When you're around people with low self-esteem, you can't say it right, you can't do it right. It's something always wrong. They're looking with criticism. They're looking to inspect you as if no one dressed them or they didn't dress themselves. Something wrong with everything. But love says, could you handle it if somebody was critiquing and criticizing everything about you? Can you really? Then why would you do it if you can't take it? Why criticize? I don't know why they're singing like that. But they hand you the mic and you can't even talk in the mic. Why didn't they see that? I don't understand why they didn't see that. The usher should have done this. You don't usher. If you're so good at it, come on, Cletus. You do it. I don't understand. Preaching like I didn't get nothing out of that. When will you preach? Can't get you to preach to your own neighbor. Better yet, we can't get you to look in the mirror and preach to yourself. Judge not that you be not judged. Be careful that because of your critical nature, that you're constantly reaping criticism and you're feeling unloved, but you've dished out what keeps coming back. Nobody loves me, but have you sent love vibes? Loving words, loving actions. Nobody hugs me. Affection is a part of love. Who did your arms go around?
Enjoy today's broadcast and that you will join our commission to walk in love in 2016 and grow in love in 2016. I also want to invite you to attend a taping of Let the Prophet Speak or become a partner. We thank you for your support in advance, and we hope to see you next week.